Good morning students. So today we are going to discuss about our new chapter, transportation system. So you must have heard about the word transports from your lower classes. What are transports? You must have heard about air transport, water transport, land transport. So nothing but transport is a system which is used to carry some things or some people from one place to another place. So something which is used to carry from one place to another place is called as transport. So that type of system is present in our body. That type of the things needed to carry from one place to another place, that system is also present in our body. That is called as transportation system. Why do you think this system is present in our body? You are eating food. You are taking oxygen. You are taking oxygen from your nose. That oxygen should be supplied to each and every part of the cell in your body. The oxygen should be supplied to your toes, your feet, which are very far away from your nose or from your lungs. They need to be carried to that place. So, a system is present which is carrying the oxygen from your lungs to that place. So that system is called as transportation system. You are eating your food. The food is being digested and you are getting nutrients from that food. The nutrients should be supplied from digestive system to all the parts of the body. They should reach your brain, your eyes, your lungs, your toes, like your knees. Every part should reach, like every part should receive the nutrients. So the lungs are coming to your stomach and taking the nutrients? No. So the nutrients are being carried to the lungs or to your knees or your fingers. So the nutrients are being carried by some system that is called as transportation system. Okay, clear? So for carrying things from one place to another place, a system is helping us, that is called as transportation system. For carrying the nutrients from the digested food, for oxygen transport or some other materials transport, the system which is present in our body is called as transportation system. The other name for transportation system is nothing but the circulatory system. Okay. The other name for the transportation system which is present in your body is called as circulatory system. Okay. The transportation system which is present in your body is called as circulatory system. Clear? It is circulatory, the meaning circulating. It is circulating the nutrients from one place to another place. That's why the name circulatory system. Okay. Now, if you see the organisms, it's not like in lower organisms and higher organisms also, the food should be transported to the different parts of the body. Okay, if you see the lower organisms like amoeba, hydra, they have very simple body structure. The body complexity is very simple body structure is there. Only single cell is present and very simple body complexity is very simple. So, the nutrients or the oxygen or something, any other material is simply transported by simple process called diffusion or osmosis. Okay. So, in unicellular organism, as it is having simple body structure, so the nutrients, oxygen and any other material also, others will be carried through a simple process of diffusion and osmosis. by these two processes, this transport of substances occurs inside the body. For if you look the amoeba, this is our amoeba. So the food we have seen in the digestive system, the food is engulfed through pseudopodia and it is digested and it is absorbed throughout the body by which process? By simple process of diffusion and osmosis. Okay, this occurs in the lower organism. So transportation is occurring by process of diffusion in the lower organisms. But if this process occurs, like the diffusion process occurs in multicellular or higher organisms, what happens? So transportation of substances may occur by diffusion or osmosis process in higher organisms. What will happen then? Why it is not occurring? Suppose just think, you have eaten your food today. It will be digested and the nutrients should be supplied to the entire body. If this process occurs through diffusion or osmosis, it will take so much of time. It will take plenty time to reach the nutrients to each and every part of the body. Only by simple diffusion process. Okay, that's why in higher organisms, as the body complexity is large, okay, in higher organisms, as body complexities in higher organisms, so what happens as the body complexity is what? Complicated or difficult, complex. You can say body complexity. Complexity is complex. Okay, that's why by simple diffusion process, it takes more time to reach the nutrients or oxygen to each and every part of the cell. That's why you have the higher organisms have developed a special system called transportation or circulatory system in them, so that the nutrients from each part is easily transported to the other part of the body. Okay, that's why a separate system, because in higher organism the body complexity is more complex. You have separate many cells, so many cells in the higher organisms. They are multicellular. So, if the nutrient should be reached continuously, the nutrient should be reaching continuously, because cell needs continuous supply of energy. So, if diffusion process occurs, it may take some more time to reach the nutrients to the cell. So, a separate system called a transportation system or circulatory system is developed in higher organisms, so that the nutrients are easily carried from one place to another place. Okay, this is about our transportation system. Now we will be studying about the Now we will be studying about the what part of our body is mainly involved in this transportation system. Okay, which part or which is mostly doing the work in the transportation system. ఏ ఆర్గాన్ బాడీలో ఈ ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్ సిస్టమ్కి హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ థింక్. సో వన్ పార్ట్ నుంచి న్యూట్రియన్స్ అనదర్ పార్ట్కి వెళ్తున్నాయి. త్రూ వాట్? ఆబ్వియస్లీ త్రూ అవర్ బ్లడ్ నుంచి ఒక పార్ట్ మన ఆక్సిజన్ కానీ మన న్యూట్రియన్స్ కానీ మన సెల్స్కి రీచ్ అవుతాయి ఫ్రమ్ ఒక పార్ట్ నుంచి అనదర్ పార్ట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లంగ్స్ నుంచి ఆక్సిజన్ అన్ని సెల్స్కి వెళ్తున్నాయి. ఎలాగా ఆక్సిజన్ వెళ్ళిపోతుందా? నో, ఇట్ ఈస్ బీయింగ్ డిజాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ ద బ్లడ్ అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ బీయింగ్ క్యారీడ్ టు ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సెల్. Same also the nutrients. The small intestine absorbs the nutrients and they are dissolved in the nutrients are again given to the blood, and the blood supplies the nutrients to each and every cell. So the blood is the main transportation system in our body. So the blood is coming from where? Heart. So the heart is the main organ which is involved in the transportation system. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to study about the structure of heart, function of heart, how does blood is circulated and to different how the blood is circulated to different parts of the body, and how the blood is received to heart again back from different parts of the body to the heart. Okay, so we will study about entire heart structure. By the end of this chapter, you will be knowing how your heart is, how it is functioning. You can feel your heart, how hard it is working. Okay. Now, before going to start about heart, I would like to discuss about pulse. What is pulse? You must have heard about the word pulse. So, what is pulse? Yeah, what is pulse? You must have gone to doctor or you must have observed some patients who are sitting near the doctor. So what the doctor do? He will just put his hands near the patient hand and he will be checking his watch. Why do you think he is doing like that? Doctor దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాడు డాక్టరు? పేషెంట్ ఒక చెయ్యి పట్టుకుని ఇలా పట్టుకుని చెయ్యి తన డాక్టర్ వాచ్ చూస్తూ ఉంటాడు, టైం చూస్తూ ఉంటాడు. ఎందుకు చూస్తాడు అనుకుంటున్నారు? ఇప్పుడు మీరు డాక్టర్, నేను పేషెంట్, నేను మీ దగ్గరికి వచ్చాను, మీరు నా చెయ్యి పట్టుకుని ఇలా టైం చూస్తున్నారు. ఎందుకు చూస్తున్నారు అనుకుంటున్నారు? యా, it is nothing but doctor is nothing but he is counting the pulse of the patient. Pulse count చేస్తారు అన్నమాట. సో పల్స్, హౌ డు యూ పల్స్ ఎందుకు కౌంట్ చేస్తారు? వై డూ యూ థింక్ హీ ఈస్ కౌంటింగ్ ద పల్స్? హీ ఈస్ కౌంటింగ్ ద హార్ట్ బీట్. పల్స్ ద్వారా మనకి హార్ట్ బీట్ తెలుస్తుంది అన్నమాట. సో వీ కెన్ నో ద హార్ట్ బీట్ ఆఫ్ ఎ పేషెంట్ త్రూ అవర్ పల్స్. విల్ డిస్కస్ ఇట్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ పల్స్? పల్స్ని ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేస్తాం? హౌ డు యూ డిఫైన్ ద పల్స్? పల్స్ ఈజ్ okay. So how do you define pulse? Pulse is rhythmic contraction rhythmic throbbing of arteries, rhythmic throbbing of arteries as blood is propelled or flown through them. N is felt at the wrist. Okay, this is called as pulse. Pulse is rhythmic throbbing of arteries as blood is propelled or flown through them and is felt at the wrist, is called as pulse. So how this is the definition of the pulse. So let me explain. Before understanding this, you know what is heartbeat. Heartbeat. The sound produced by the heart, during contraction and relaxation. when it is pumping the blood into blood vessels is called heartbeat. Okay, clear? So what is heartbeat? The sound produced. The sound produced by heart during contraction and relaxation when it is pumping the blood into the blood vessels is called as heartbeat. So if you keep your hand near your heart, you will be feeling some you will feeling some sound up and down. That is nothing but heartbeat. Okay, suppose think this is your heart. So during contraction and relaxation, it is producing some sound. Why it is contracting and relaxing, and during this contraction and relaxation, the blood is pumped from the heart. Blood is sent from the heart into the blood vessels. Let me tell you. Suppose think this is your heart. So this is your heart. During contraction and relaxation, the blood from your heart is sent into the blood vessels. Okay, by some pressure. So contraction and relaxation, the blood is sent into the blood vessels by some pressure. If you on the motor and hold a pipe, so what happens? Water will be coming into the pipe through some pressure. So motor is sending water into the pipe through some pressure. So like that our heart is sending the blood to body parts through pipes by some pressure. So that pressure is called as blood pressure. Okay. So understood? The sound produced by heart during contraction and relaxation when it is pumping the blood is called as into blood vessels is called as heartbeat. So heart contract అయినప్పుడు relax అయినప్పుడు blood vessels లో flow అవుతుంది కొంచెం pressure తో. దాన్ని మనము heart beat అంటాం. ఆ pressure ని మనము ఇప్పుడు what is pulse? blood vessels నుంచి blood vessels నుంచి blood flow అవుతా ఉంటుంది with some pressure. ఆ ప్రెషర్ ని మనం ఫీల్ అవుతాం ఇన్ ద ఆర్టరీస్. ఓకేనా, ఆర్టరీస్ ద్వారా బ్లడ్ హార్ట్ నుంచి బ్లడ్ ఆర్టరీస్ ద్వారా బాడీ పార్ట్స్ కి రీచ్ అవుతుంది విత్ సమ్ ప్రెషర్. దట్ ప్రెషర్ ఈస్ ఫెల్ట్ నియర్ ద రిస్ట్ which is called as pulse. Clear? Okay. Blood, so rhythmic throbbing అంటే rhythmic contraction and relaxation heart by which blood is flown through arteries. Blood is flown into the arteries. So arteries లో ఏంటి blood flow అవుతా ఉంటుంది. సో ప్రెషర్ వస్తూ ఉంటుంది మనకి. అది మనం ఎక్కడ ఫీల్ అవుతాం? రిస్ట్ దగ్గర. ఇఫ్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు మోటార్ ఆన్ చేశారు, పైప్ పట్టుకోండి, పైప్ నుంచి వాటర్ వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. ఇక్కడ సపోజ్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి వాటర్ బయటకు వస్తాయి, మీరు పైప్ ఇక్కడ పట్టుకోండి, మీకు ఏమనిపిస్తుంది? వాటర్ ఫ్లో అయిన ఫీలింగ్ తెలుస్తుందా లేదా? అప్ అండ్ డౌన్ ఏదో సంథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఫ్లోయింగ్ అని. సో సంథింగ్ దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ పల్స్ అనమాట. మనకి ఇక్కడ పట్టుకున్నప్పుడు వెన్ యూ catch these near your wrist, you will be feeling rhythmic throbbing, up and down oka feeling vastadi. That is nothing but our pulse. That is what blood is flowing through your arteries with some pressure which is felt near our wrist. So that is called as pulse. Okay, how do you rhythmic throbbing of arteries as blood is propelled into flow through them. ఎక్కడ అంటే మనం ఇక్కడ చూస్తున్నాం. సో బ్లడ్ ఆర్టరీస్ ద్వారా ఫ్లో అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఒక ప్రెషర్ అంటూ ఉంటుంది. ఆ ప్రెషర్ని మనము ఫీల్ అవుతున్నాం ఎక్కడ, రిస్ట్ దగ్గర, దాన్ని పల్స్ అంటున్నాం. సో ఈజ్ పల్స్ ఓన్లీ యూ కెన్ చెక్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ నియర్ ద రిస్ట్, యూ కెన్ ఫీల్ at the here neck region, at the neck region, even your back side of your knee, here at the back side of your knee, near your ankles, at the foot. So you can measure your pulse at the wrist position, at the neck position, at back of your knees, ankles and foot. So how do you check your pulse near the wrist? Take your index finger and middle finger and place it below the thumb near the wrist. If you place it, you will be feeling some sound. That is nothing but our pulse. Okay, you can check your pulse by placing your index finger and your middle finger at the side, at the below the thumb on your left hand, and just apply light pressure, very light pressure. You will feeling some ups and downs. That is nothing but blood pressure which is seen in your arteries. Okay, that is nothing but pulse. Clear? So what is pulse rate? Number of pulses per minute is called as pulses. Number of pulses per minute is called pulse rate. Okay, number of pulses per minute is called as pulse rate. So is there any relationship between heartbeat and pulse rate? Is there any relation between heartbeat and pulse? Yeah. Yes, there is a relation. One heartbeat is equal to one pulse. One heartbeat is equal to one pulse. Okay? Yeah. So, see, ఒక్కసారి హార్ట్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ అయ్యి రిలాక్స్ అవుతాయంటే బ్లడ్ ఆర్టరీస్లోకి వెళ్తాను, బ్లడ్ ఫ్లో జరుగుతుంది. బ్లడ్ ఫ్లో ఈజ్ మనకి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? బ్లడ్ ఫ్లో అయినప్పుడు బ్లడ్కి సమ్ ప్రెషర్ ఉంటుంది. సో వీఆర్ ఫీలింగ్ ఇట్ నియర్ అవర్ రిస్ట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ హార్ట్ బీట్ ఈక్వల్ టు వన్ పల్స్. అంటే ఒకసారి హార్ట్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ అయ్యి రిలాక్స్ అయినప్పుడే బ్లడ్ ఆర్టరీస్లోకి వెళ్తుంది. ఆర్టరీస్లోకి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు బ్లడ్ ప్రెషర్తో ఫ్లో అవుతుంది. అదే మనకి ప్రెషర్ ఫీల్ అక్కడ మనకి ఇలా అప్ అండ్ డౌన్ ఇక్కడ ఫీల్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ ఎన్ని టైమ్స్ మనకి ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇలా చేయి పెట్టి 1 సెకండ్లో ఇఫ్ యూ కౌంట్, యూ కెన్ డూ బై యువర్ ఓన్. జస్ట్ కీప్ యువర్ ఇండెక్స్ ఫింగర్ అండ్ మిడిల్ ఫింగర్ నియర్ ద thumb and below the thumb and just observe how many times you will feel ups and downs in 1 minute. So in 1 minute if you can count that number of times is your heartbeat. For suppose I will keep like this and I feel how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like this I should count how many times you feel the beats in your hand. Observe carefully how many times you feel the beats in your hand. That many times your heart is beating. That is nothing but your. Okay. So we have seen that there is relationship between heartbeat and pulse. So one heartbeat is equal to one pulse. So the pulse is when a person is in rest condition, generally the pulse is 72 to 80. And the pulse rate changes sometimes when changes on the situation. Okay, generally when the person is at rest, the pulse rate is 70 to 80 times per minute. Okay, means the heartbeat is 70 to 80 times per minute. but it changes depending on the situation. Suppose sometimes you become emotionally, means sometimes you will feel like crying, or you are so excited, you are so sometimes you will feel you will be afraid, భయం వేస్తూ ఉంటారు, హ్యాపీగా ఉంటారు, చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంటారు, చాలా సాడ్గా ఉంటారు. In that case also the pulse rate changes depending on the mood of the person and depending on the situation. Sometimes you will be doing vigorous exercises చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా pulse rate అన్నది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. Why? Because during exercises your heart will be beating more, it should be supplying more oxygen to the muscles, so continuously the blood will be flowing into the arteries with pressure, so that time your pulse will be more clear. Okay, so during rest condition it is generally 70 to 80 times per minute in adults. Okay, in generally in kids